time I open them, I say, where do I start? You know, what colors should I use? Because they're so busy.
Yeah, some people like busier
Yeah,
pictures than others. Some of the pictures in the book are more busy, and some are less busy. I also joined a coloring book artist group on Facebook where I could submit the illustrations and people give me feedback on them. So, which I found to be very helpful.
Is that the purpose of it, to
No,
critique?
anybody could join. If you like to color, you could just color any illustrations and
And what
post
do you do?
them
Take
on
a picture of
Facebook.
it and then post it?
Yeah, you could scan it in or take a picture of it and post it. A lot of people are posting the work that they colored from books they bought or things that they drew themselves.
That must be interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's a group.
It's a whole mix.
I think there's a group on Facebook for just about anything.
Yeah.
Facebook is an interesting place sometimes. So what's next? Are you going to do?
Well, I'm illustrating the Taste of Colors
Yes.
right now. I'm also going to be illustrating the Alphabet of Food book that I've already written. I'm working on a book about bees. As you know, a lot of bees are dying because of the pesticides that are being used, those neonicotinoid pesticides. So I'm writing a book. Originally, it was supposed to be called Beeana, from the viewpoint of a bee, and the bee sees the other bees that are dead and tries to rally the humans by trying to learn how to spell some of their letters and getting them involved in stopping the farmer from spraying the pesticides. But based on the feedback, again, from the critique groups and from the liquid meetings, I'm rewriting the story from the viewpoint of from a girl who sees the bees outside of her school. It's called Bees Over My School. So it starts with a trip to a honey farm, and the girl gets interested in bees, and she sees the bees outside of her classroom window. Then she goes and follows them and finds out what happened. And she actually learns the bee dance so she could communicate with them.
That's right, bees dance.
Right, that's how the bees communicate. They dance. They don't actually talk.
Amazing, aren't they? Bees.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty smart for
Yeah.
insects. They have a whole way of communicating. They could tell each other where the best flowers are located. They get their pollen and nectar, and they could just go right to the same exact spot, over and over again.
So I know you're really up on this, and this is off the topic of books and whatnot, but are the bees doing any better?
Well, from what I hear, they're not doing any worse than they were doing. This colony collapse disorder is still a big problem, and a lot of people do believe that it's due to pesticides.
It was a combination of the pesticides, and then that made them more susceptible to a mite that infects
Yeah, I
them?
mean, I guess it's a combination of the pesticides, the mites, probably a virus, different things that affect them. But
Yeah.
and unfortunately, the neonicotinoid, it's like when people smoke, they kind of get addicted to it. So the same thing was happening to the bees. They would get a buzz from it, literally.
Bees were buzzing, eh?
Yeah,
They
and they would get addicted to it. So it's like a drug for them, and then they would eventually die. I guess like people taking drugs. There's a heroin epidemic.
There's a
around
lesson in
here,
that,
and
isn't there?
yeah, so unfortunately that's what was happening to the bees too. And
Is there another coloring book in the hopper?
well, I'm revising the Butterfly Garden coloring book. The current version out here has 30 illustrations. The new one will have 50 illustrations.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah, and I'm also working on an activity book, which...
So you're busy as a bee.
Yeah, I'm also, and I'm teaching online culinary classes, and I'm doing other writing. I write continuing education modules for dietitians. I've been helping some other authors gather information for the books that they're working on.
Well, usually I ask my authors, the authors who come on the show, what inspires the books that they write. But obviously, from your background, you're just like me. My background inspired my mystery books.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm a dietitian with over 20 years of experience. I think my background definitely did inspire me to write What Happened to My Strawberry Yogurt. I've been counseling people, adults and children, and I noticed there was a real need for an interesting book to teach the process of digestion to children, even a child who maybe was recently diagnosed with diabetes or celiac disease.
Yeah.
You know, and they really are, you tell them bits and pieces, but they really don't know the whole picture, what's going on. Of course, there are textbooks out there that explain it, but nothing in a fun and exciting way. So that's why I felt there was a need for something like that, that's geared toward children, that teaches them the process of digestion, and they could have fun and learn about it at the same time.
Definitely, and I also see that you have a love of the environment and nature, and
Yeah, definitely. That's
that,
what inspired the Butterfly
that-
Garden
sure,
coloring book.
yeah.
Yeah, and the Bees Over My School. That's the working title. It may change. Yeah.
How about a book on spiders? I really like spiders. And
Oh,
I think
maybe.
a lot of people don't like spiders, and I think to myself, but spiders are, they're an important part.
I loved Charlotte's Web when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
but
so.
it's, pardon the pun, but spiders are an important part of the web,
Yeah.
the web
that's
of nature.
true.
So, yeah, maybe I'll write a book about spiders, and you can illustrate it.
Okay, sounds good.
So,
Yeah,
one-
I'm available to illustrate other people's books too,
Sure.
if they would like
Sure.
that.
so one of the other questions I always ask is, what inspired you to write? Why writing?
Well, I always liked writing. Even when I was in high school, I was in the English Honor Society, and I joined the poetry newsletter group, and I was writing some poetry. So throughout my whole career, I've been doing some writing. Even when I've been a research reviewer for the nutrition education for the public practice group of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics for probably longer than I've been a registered dietitian, which was, since 94. So
That's like technical writing, right?
yeah, that's technical writing. So I guess that's how I started, more with the technical writing, explaining scientific principles. And then I realized that I was able to explain these scientific principles not just to a group of educated people, but to the regular population. I've written some newsletter articles and some online articles, and then I realized that I could also explain the principles to children, and that's what I really enjoyed, because it allows me to use all my knowledge and talents. I really enjoy drawing and painting, and so it allows me to use my artistic abilities with my writing abilities and combine everything together. So that's where I really see a lot of my future going, into writing and illustrating books for children.
Yeah, I pretty much followed that same arc in that, I was involved in secondary science and would have to write pretty much technical stuff for kids, but then it was smaller kids and younger kids, and then I realized how much I liked doing that. I liked making up stories in science for kids to understand, and that led me, once I started teaching forensics, then it was, history, mystery, and forensic science. But tell people how they would get in touch with you if they are interested in using your company or your skills.
Okay, well, my website, www.jsgwi.com, is my main author website. Sprouting Seed Press is sproutingseedpress.com.
Okay.
If you're interested in either having your book published through Sprouting Seed Press, or What Happened to My Strawberry Yogurt and the other future books. The Healthy Colors is just for coloring books, and that's healthycolors.com.
Thank you. That was so interesting.
All right, you're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had anybody on who was,